Well, hello everybody! I'm Bottles, and it's certainly been a while, hasn't it? Welcome back to yet another Sonic What If, the series where I tweak a part of the Sonic canon, write a fanfiction about it, and trick you into listening to it by disguising it as a what-if story. Today, we'll be tackling a question that Shay64 and I thought would be very interesting. What if the Master Emerald didn't exist? Our story begins at the current beginning of the timeline. All the way in the beginning. Our story begins with the Ancients fleeing their home planet to hide away from the End. Using the Chaos Emeralds, they get the fuck out of Dodge as the End death beams their planet into smithereens. As they travel through space, just like in canon, the Chaos Emeralds start reacting very strangely to a stone nearby a very familiar planet. Not Earth, or Mobius, or Sonic's world, or whatever we've agreed upon that the name of the planet is now. Instead, it's a planet that is just as familiar, but just a little bit nearer by. The Chaos Emeralds react to the Time Stones and get drawn towards the little planet. The reason I believe that this would happen is because of one thing and one thing only. From what little we do know about the Time Stones, both Chaos Emeralds and Time Stones are stones that have the ability to create miracles when all of them are brought together. This gives me the idea that the Chaos Emeralds and Time Stones have the same wavelengths and properties as each other. The only difference being that Chaos Emeralds use Chaos energy, whereas Time Stones use Time energy. As far as I'm concerned though, they are two sides of the same coin. This brings the Ancients down to the little planet. They study the new stones that they have discovered and become very familiar with their time travel properties. They've done so many experiments regarding both chaos and time to see what they could do about the End. The Ancients, however, thought it foolish to keep all of their mystical gems all in one spot. That is why they looked to the planet below, a much bigger planet than the little planet they have inhabited. They also went down to Earth to have their own settlements. They decided to keep the Chaos Emeralds on the Starfall Islands and the Time Stones on their home planet, the Little Planet. One day, however, just like in the main timeline, the Ancients disappeared into history. Now we fast forward centuries upon centuries upon centuries into the future, in the time of the Echidna tribe. Right around the time that we flash back to in Sonic Adventure. The time where the conflict between Tikal and Pakakamak occurs. Back in these times, we all know how the story goes. Pakakamak, being the chief of the Echidna tribe at the time, becomes obsessed with the pursuit of power in order to make sure the Echidna tribe can become the most powerful tribe in the world. His peace-loving daughter, Tikal, never agreed with his barbaric methods, and thought that they should maintain peace, not cause more war. Pakakamak thought that this was a load of hooey, and continued his search. This is when he looks into the Chaos Emeralds that have been around for generations and generations. They were always kept on Angel Island at this point. It was just their duty to harness their power. They've heard from ancient texts that the Chaos Emeralds can grant those who collect all 7 the power to perform miracles. All Pakakamak needed to hear was the power, and he was sold. Tikal, being familiar with the powers of Chaos and the Chow, due to the fact that she would consistently visit the altars in which the Chaos Emeralds were held, begged and pleaded with her father not to mess with things that he doesn't understand. Pakakamak, being the arrogant man that he is, believes that this is the prattlings of a stupid child, and decides to secretly follow her the next time she runs off. Of course, she leads them right where they want to be, the Chaos Emerald altars. All 7 Chaos Emeralds right at his fingers. Tikal was playing with the Chows when she turned around, met face to face with Pakakamak and an army of Echidnas. Pakakamak gives Tikal the order to step aside. Tikal begs her father to think about what he's doing. He tells her to step aside. Tikal throws up her hands to her sides, showing her full intent on protecting the Chow, as well as the Chaos Emerald altars. Tikal pleads to her father not to do this, that this will not bring about the peace and prosperity that they should strive for. These actions will only bring more hate, war, and paranoia. Leave the Chaos Emeralds where they are, or the tribe will regret it forever. Once again, as he always does, he pushes what his daughter says to the side. Nothing but meaningless, optimistic garbage. Pakakamak then gives his soldiers the orders to charge. Pakakamak and the Echidna tribe warriors rush forward, running over Tikal and the Chow. Unlike in the canon timeline, there is no chaos to stop the Echidnas here. Technically, he would be here, considering that chaos was just a Chow that was mutated by the Master Emerald. He'd just be a normal Chow this time, no super duper water powers. Pakakamak gets up to the altar and collects all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds all at once. This is when he starts trying to harness their power. Super Pakakamak is right on the cusp of coming into being. This is when things start to go wrong. Pakakamak, as an elderly Echidna with absolutely no experience with the Chaos Emeralds at all of the positive and negative chaotic energy proves difficult to control for old Pakakamak. Chaos energy starts flying everywhere, bursting out at random times. Chaos energy destroys the altars, hits Echidna warriors, destroying the nature around them. Pakakamak, in his struggles to control the chaos, he notices an errant spear-like piece of chaos energy shoot straight at Tikal. At that moment, Pakakamak stops everything. He drops the Chaos Emeralds, and just as suddenly as the chaos started, it ended. Pakakamak runs over to his daughter, but it's too late. The Chaos Spear, produced by the Chaos Emeralds, has killed Tikal. Pakakamak's lead general walks up to him and tries to console Pakakamak in his grief, but it's no use. From this day forth, the Chaos Emeralds will be locked away, never to be used again by anybody. From that day forward, the Echidna tribe would become the sworn guardians of the Chaos Emeralds, making sure that no one will ever create a situation like this, ever again. That is where we will leave off for today. What do you guys think? What do you think of the ancients landing on Little Planet and getting to know the Time Stones? What about Pakakamak's ultimate regret? What do you think will happen in the main timeline to this? Put your fan theories in the comments below, as well as your suggestions for future Sonic What Ifs. Also, consider becoming a channel member to get content 1 week early, including being able to watch the next episode of this Sonic What If right now. Merch is down in the description below. I'm Bottles, and I bid you, my well-esteemed guests, adieu.